Hello, everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per your respective time zone. We'll just wait for a few more participants to join, guys, and then we'll start. We'll start in next 2 minutes, guys. We'll start in next 1 minute, guys. Perfect. So we can start our session now, guys. So before we start the session, I'll just quickly tell you that what is this class all about, guys. So in this class, guys, we will be going to start discussion on the new subject, which is double AIA. Okay, double AIA stands for Advanced in AI Audit. Okay, so this is one certification which is provided by the body called as an ISACA. So I'll just quickly tell you about double AIA first, and then I'll quickly start the session as well. Okay. So when we say the double AIA, guys, so in double AIA, basically, I'll just quickly show you the course curriculum of double AIA, that what is this course all about. So in double AIA, guys, there are total 3 domains. Okay, domain 1 is basically AI governance and risk. Domain 2 is about an AI operation, and domain 3 is purely on the AI audit, where you know what are the tools and techniques that you need to use for the AI audit that we will be going to discuss. So there are total 3 domain in double AIA exam. If I talk about the exam pattern, and also guys, during the exam, they'll ask you total 90 MCQ question. And this question you need to complete within a 150 minutes. So you have a duration around 2.5 hours. So within a 2.5 hour, you need to attempt all the 90 questions. Very similar to other ISACA certification. In this also, the passing would be based on the graded score. So you need to score 450 and above to pass the examination out of total 800 points. Okay. Testing format, if I talk about, as of now, like they have a 2 option: in person testing, where you need to go to the PSI center to give the exam, and then there is also remote proctored option. As far as India's concerned, guys, as of now, the remote proctored option is not available in India. So if you are in India and if you're planning to give the exam, you need to give the exam through the PSI testing center only. You can't schedule it a remote proctored option. Once you schedule the exam, you have a 12-month from the registration date. You know, you have a time of a 12-month and you can appear for the exam within that 12-month period. If I talk about the fees, guys, so basically the fees for this certification would be $459. Okay. for $459 for the members, and non-members it is $599. And then like once you pass the exam and apply for the certification, then certification maintenance fees is $20 for the member and $35 for non-members. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about the AAIA exam, guys. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll quickly start our discussion on the topic. Okay, AI governance and the risk. AI governance and the risk. So before I start my discussion, guys, again I'll start with the very basic term, which is called as an artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So may I know, guys, may I know from all of you, like any one of you want to share that what do you understand from the term AI? Is it a very new term, guys? AI? Can you tell me brief about an AI? Any one of you? Is AI is a new term, new technology? Can you tell me, guys, what do you understand from the term artificial intelligence? Any one of you? Any one of you, guys? Please tell me, what is AI? Waiting for your answer, guys. I can see a couple of similar people. Uh, any one of you, guys? What is AI? Feel free to answer. What is AI? Tell me. Tell me, guys. Okay. Let me just tell you, guys, what is the meaning of an AI. When I say the artificial intelligence is basically a kind of a system. Is basically a kind of system that can simulate the human capabilities, which can simulate the human capability. I'll just try to explain you this with very basic example, guys. So in 1950, what happened is, in 1950, like people were trying to do one test which is called as a Turing test. Okay, have you heard about this particular term, guys? A Turing test. So what is a Turing test, guys? So Turing test is basically a kind of a test where are there total three people. Okay, so not people, I'll say there are three parties. One is basically the person, or you will say that person as an instructor or an interrogator. Okay, so this is person number one, who is human. And then on the another side, there are two party. One is a computer and another side the human will be there. So human will ask the series of question to both. Okay, both the party. Now this interrogator is not aware that out of these two, which one is human, which one is computer. He'll just ask the series of question to both the party, then both the party will reply. And after that, the human need to guess that out of these two, who is human and who is computer. So this is called as what, guys? This is called as a Turing test, which was performed. First, it was performed in when? First, it was performed in 1950. 1950, guys. In 1950, this Turing test was performed to see that, like whether the interrogator can identify after asking series of questions whether the person who the system who is answering or the other party who is answering, whether he is a computer or whether he is a human. So during 1950, guys, 1950, that team has basically concluded that after 50 years, our system will be that much of smart that it can simulate the human capabilities. Now here, guys, with the help of Turing test, obviously we are just trying to see the humans conversation capabilities or abilities. Correct, guys? This test will just tell about the conversations ability, that whether system is equally capable to human, whether he can simulate the human capability in the conversation or not. This is more from the conversations perspective. So in 1950, when this particular test was performed, at that time they were concluded that as of now our systems are not that strong that it can mimic the or it can simulate the human capabilities, but after 50 years it is possible. when our system will be having a more storage capability, more processing capabilities, then a system can also simulate human capabilities. And guys, recently, I'll say that the chat GPT's version 4.5, when the same Turing test was performed on the chat GPT version 4.5, 73% of time when that instructor or interrogator was asking the question, okay, he was unable to differentiate between the human and machine. So this chat GPT versions 4.5 have already surpassed that threshold which was set during the Turing test. So what I am trying to tell you is, guys, what is an artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a broad concept of making machine to behave like a human, thinking, reasoning, making decision, and solving the problem. So that is what the meaning of AI, artificial intelligence. Then, guys, there is a one more terminology which is called as a machine learning. Machine learning is basically what? It is a subset of AI. It is what? It is a subset of AI. Okay. As a part of machine learning, what we will be doing is we will be developing a program or system, okay, which will be working on the predictable model. For example, the moment you will train some system, after training that particular system, it will be having a capability of a self learning. For example, I have trained the system using some data, and now once I have trained the system, that system can like self learn from the data which I have fed it to them. Although I have not programmed that particular system to do some task, but the data which I have provided to the system, based on that data, the system is doing self-learning and it can perform certain tasks which I have not explicitly programmed. I have not programmed. For example, in a general system, what we will do, we'll do some program logic. Based on that program logic, it will say x plus y equals to z. But in a machine learning, what happens, guys, that the data that you are using, the machine learning model will learn based on that data, and it will do certain tasks, and it will learn automatically from the data, and there is no need to program that model explicitly to do certain tasks. So that is what the machine learning is. Okay, and then there is a subset of machine learning which is called as a deep learning. In a deep learning, we use a neural networks. Now, what is a neural network? That also we'll be going to discuss in the upcoming slides, guys. But deep learning is a subset of machine learning where you are using a multiple neural network, okay, and this is completely inspired by human brain because it will be doing a lot of tasks. In a deep learning, there are multiple machine learning model which are designed to perform a higher level of intelligent task. Okay, so that is what the deep learning is. Okay, so this is just a brief understanding of artificial intelligence hierarchy, guys, which includes the AI, ML, and deep learning. Okay, now, guys, our next topic is basically the type of AI. Now, when I say a type of AI, okay, we need to understand that from two perspectives. One is type of AI based on the functionalities, and one is a type of AI based on the capabilities. Okay, one is basically based on the capabilities, and one is based on the functionalities. So let's first discuss about the AI based on the functionalities. So in that, we have a four different types of AI, guys. First is called as a reactive machines. First is what, guys? First is called as a reactive machines. Okay, as the name suggests, guys, what is the meaning of reactive machine? The reactive machine is basically a type of AI system which will be doing very basic level of task, very simple task, and it is completely rule based. Okay, it is completely what? It is completely a rule based. For example, guys, suppose if you have a, I'm just giving you one very simple example. Suppose if you have a bread toaster in which you are, toasting your bread. Now, for example, guys, that bread toaster will work based on the rules that you have set, correct? Now, that bread toaster will not automatically know that, okay, yesterday you have used a bread and that was burnt like more. So this time I have to make sure that when I am again doing that task, it has to be done properly because yesterday it was not done properly. It doesn't have that kind of a brain. It doesn't have those kind of a memory. It is just very simple. It is basically purely a rule based. For example, here you will say that you have to do x plus y, then it will do the x plus y, correct? So that is a reactive machine which will respond to a specific input that you are providing. It is completely rule based. It has very limited functionalities. Okay, so that is a reactive machines. Okay, basic level of AI, and the example of that is what, suppose you have a that game, the chess game called as a deep blue, where it will just say see the board and then it will tell you that what you need to what should be your next move, correct? So that is what reactive machine. Second is called as a limited memory, guys. Okay, limited memory. Now, in a limited memory, you have a two types, guys. One is called as a static memory, and second is called as a dynamic memory. Static and dynamic memory. Now, what is a limit memory, guys? Limit memory is basically a kind of an AI, okay, where it has a capability to remember few tasks or few data. Okay. For example, guys, what static memory will be doing is static memory will be remembering the data on which it is trained, the data on which it is trained, and dynamic memory will remember the context immediate context which you are using for the purpose of doing that task. So that is a limit memory. Okay, it uses a recent historical data and observation, and after using that it will take a decision. Now guys, what will be the example of limited memory? For example, guys, if we talk about a self-driving car, okay, in a self-driving car, guys, it uses certain data on which it is trained. For example, uh, it can identify the signal, whether the signal is red, whether the signal is green, correct? It can see the some kind of an feed from the camera, correct? Whatever camera which are there in the automated car, it can see that camera feed, and accordingly it can take decision. It can see whether there are certain obstacles or not, correct? Accordingly it can take certain decision. So in a limit memory, what happen is you can use a static data. Static data means what the data on which it is trained, that is a static data, and the dynamic data which is being provided in the conversation or at the time of using the AI. It can use that as well, and accordingly it will be taking the decision. Now, whatever AI system that as of now we are using, most of them are the limited memory AI. Okay, this is a current state of artificial intelligence based on the functionality, if I talk about. Okay. After that, there is a theory of mind. Now, theory of mind is as of now in the experimental stage. As of now, there is no real life example of theory of mind. Why, guys? Why there is no complete example of theory of mind? Because theory of mind will require some kind of an emotional response. Some kind of an emotional response. Although couple of company have tried to build theory of mind AI system as well. For example, if I have to give you the example of theory of mind, so there is one robot which was called as a Sophia. I don't know whether you have heard about this particular robot or not. Sophia robot. Okay, so These are, I'll say, early example of theory of mind because it doesn't utilize the full functionality of theory of mind. In a theory of mind AI system, what will happen, guys? The main characteristics of this kind of an AI system is that it will provide you the emotional responses. It should have a capability of doing certain kind of a social behavior. It understands the thoughts and the emotion of the other party. For example, if I have to give you the example of this, suppose if you are going to the office and you are late, correct? And then somebody is asking you why are you late, and then you are telling that my wife was not well, my children were not well, and I have to take them to the hospital. That is the reason I was late. Now, guys, if that person is human, obviously that person will understand your concern, and accordingly it will tell you, okay, no, no, it's fine, you can go, and will not mark late attendance for yours, because that is a like a serious emergency kind of a thing. Correct, guys? But suppose rather than human, if this particular robot is there, then he may not understand the that situation. Correct? That in that situation what to do. Suppose the person is coming late and the reason for the late is this, then what should I do? This particular system may not have that capability. So what I'm trying to tell you is that theory of mind as of now is in the experimental stage. It is in the experimental stage, although as I told you that a lot of companies are working on it. There is a Sophia a robot, then there was a one more robot called as a paper, but all those are still in the experimental phase. It doesn't completely act as a human. Okay, so that is the theory of mind, guys. Okay, and after that there is a one more AI which is called as a self-aware AI. This is like again a very much theoretical concept. Okay, in a self-aware AI, what will happen, guys? They have their own emotion. For example, the human has its own emotion. Sometimes you will feel good, sometimes you will feel bad. Correct? So self-aware AI will be a very much like a human, which has their own emotion, which has their own mental states. Okay, this is completely hypothetical as of now. As of now, there is nothing called as an self-aware AI, because it should have an emotion, it should have a desire, it should have a consequenceness. And as of now, there are no system, there are no type of an AI which has all those things. So this is hypothetical. So based on the functionality, guys, these are the types of the AI. Reactive. Reactive means what, guys? Basic AI. Limited memory, which uses certain historical data and observations, and based on that it takes a decision. So there are two types. One is a static, so it uses a static memory and dynamic memory. Theory of mind, which is as of now emerging or experimental, because it should require an emotional response to a situation, and there has to be a characteristics like how to behave good socially. So this is experimental. And self-aware AI as of now not there. This is a completely hypothetical. So this is about AI based on the functionality. Any query, any doubt, please tell me. Any query, any doubt, please tell me. Guys, any query, any doubt? I can see previously someone have raised a hand.
Sachin, Bittal this side. Good
Yeah,
evening.
yeah, tell me.
Sachin, on the limited memory functionality where we are classifying AI, right? You told one is static, another one is dynamic, right?
Perfect.
And on the self-driving cars, you gave example of the inputs where there are currently 3 or 4 inputs according to which the car or the vehicle reacts, right? If it is orange, if it's green, or if it's yellow or
Perfect.
red, correct?
Mhm.
Now when it comes to dynamic memory, let's say because that is not a pre-input which has been given earlier, and suddenly we try to input when the vehicle is on the road or is in the transit, How does those machines react, or is there anything that is happening now in that space of AI?
Yeah. So basically, it uses both. As we discussed, it uses the data on which it is trained, and it also uses the current situation. For example, you are driving a car,
Hmm.
suddenly someone is trying to cross.
Hmm.
Correct. Now,
Okay.
self-aware. Now, basically, that car car which has a limited memory, like a static memory and dynamic memory. So dynamic memory has to react to that situation.
Okay.
The dynamic memory has to react that situation, that for example someone is crossing a road, so I have to slowly put the brake. And that also depends how far he is from the car. For example, if he is very near, then I have to put a hard brake. And if he is a bit far, then
Hmm.
I'll put the brakes. Correct. Now there may be a situation, for example, guys, the signal is red. Correct. Signal is red. So
Hmm.
in a self-driving car, you have created a static memory that when signal is red, you have to stop there. But suppose if one fast truck is also coming from this side, and car can see that if I'll not move, then it will hit me. Now now what the self-driving will car will do? Will he cross the signal, or will he stay like this only? Correct. So those kind of situation can also be there, guys, where AI may not be able to take a decision, because now he has to bypass that static memory. You have said that whenever the signal is red, you have to stop over there. But from the other side, the truck is coming. Sensor can also see that truck is coming 50 plus speed. If I'll not move, that obviously truck will hit me. Now what should I do?
Hmm.
Correct. So obviously it has a static and dynamic both, based on which it takes the decision.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. Clear, guys, everyone? All these types of AI is clear. Reactive, limited, theory of mind, and self-aware.
Yeah.
Any query, any doubt? Quick confirmation, guys. This clear, everyone? Perfect. So this is about the AI based on the functionality, guys. Okay, again, this slides includes their example. Now, as an auditor, what are the governance requirement which company needs to implement? What are the governance requirement which company needs to implement? And what are the things that we as an auditor has to focus? We as an auditor has to focus. So reactive machines, as we discussed, these are very basic form of AI. So obviously, from a governance perspective, there is not much complexity when you compare this with the limited memory and theory of mind, because these are a reactive machine which work basically based on the rule. So from a governance perspective, my traditional IT controls which I am implementing is fine. Correct. And from the AI audit risk perspective, this is very low risk item. I am telling about from AI risk perspective, this is low risk item because it purely worked based on the rule. Perfect. Second is a limited memory AI, guys. This kind of system will require ongoing monitoring. This kind of system will require what? It will require a ongoing monitoring. You need to implement certain controls when you are training the data. When you are training static data, you need to implement the controls like a data quality, data biasness. Because in AI, this is a very simple principle, guys. Garbage in, garbage out. If your data is poor, your output will be poor. There will be a biased decision. Correct. So obviously we basically focus too much on the data quality and biasness for the limited memory AIs. Okay. And model drift also is one of a challenge. What is a model drift? Obviously we'll be going to discuss pretty much in a detail in our upcoming slides along with the example. Okay. So this kind of things which we as an auditor need to focus in the limited memory AI system. Then there is a theory of mind, guys. As I told you that as of now, this is emerging. It is not yet fully live. It is emerging. So obviously, if some of the companies who are working on a theory of mind, those kind of a system, then as an organization, that they need to implement very good governance controls around that. Otherwise, it can create a lot of problem. For example, guys, I'm just giving you a hypothetical example. Okay, uh, suppose guys, you are building one robot, and the job of robot is what, that he need to manufacture the pin, correct pin, which you are using for the in the stationary, guys, we are using the pin, correct? So suppose you have designed one particular robot, and the job of the robot is to build a pin. Now guys, that robot, once it was designed, it has started manufacturing the pin, and whatever is coming, he used that particular object, and using that object he tried to build a pin. Now guys, think about the situation. Suppose if the you don't have a much control on that robot, and if you have those 100 robot, and if they try to harm the human as well. Okay, suppose if they starting harming the human, because in their mind there is only one goal, that you need to manufacture the pin. Now whatever is coming in front of you, you just use that and start making the pin. Now don't you think that it will create a very big problem, like, everywhere there is a robot, and they are just trying to create a pin. So what I'm trying to tell you is, suppose if there are no appropriate controls not implemented on this kind of a theory of mind of AI, it can create a very serious risk to the human beings. Okay. Potential for manipulation of human users and privacy intrusion. So there are certain ethical risk. There may be risk of misinterpretation, correct? Now guys, for example, here there is a risk of misinterpretation. For example, you have asked a robot to manufacture the pin, but you can't manufacture the pin at the cost of human life, correct? Although I have designed you to manufacture the pin, but you can't, for example, do this particular task at the cost of human life. So and likewise, in this kind of a system, there may be a risk related to misinterpretation. Now AI has misinterpreted the objective for which he was built. Now he is solely thinking that, okay, my only objective is what, to build a pin. Whatever is coming, whatever is the situation, I just need to build a pin, correct guys? So this kind of a thing will result into misinterpretation, misalignment with the objective for which it was built. Okay, and there may be a lack of explainability in this kind of a model, correct? Suppose if someone wants to audit their algorithm, someone wants to audit their system design, then they may not be able to audit, because this kind of a system are very complex to audit, correct? So these are the risks associated with it. And then the self-aware AI, again, as I told you, as of now it is not operational, but once suppose if it is there, then obviously all the risks which you have discussed in the previous slide will be applicable to the self-aware AI as well. Okay, as of now this is pretty much theoretical. Okay, it is not there as of now. Okay, so this is about the type of AI, guys, based on the functionalities. Okay, based on what? Functionalities. Now we will be discussing about the type of AI based on the capabilities. Okay, type of AI based on capabilities. So we have a three types here again. One is ANI, which is called as a NE. Okay, ANI, AGI, and ASI. ANI stands for artificial narrow intelligence. So as of now, in the field of AI, whatever you are doing is, it is an example of what? It is an example of any. Okay, this is a narrow intelligence. Artificial general intelligence, guys, again, this is as of now theoretical. Okay, it doesn't exist as of now. But do you know, guys, this person? Do you know this person, Sam Alton? Do you know about this person, guys? Do you know who is he? CEO of OpenAI. Okay, so Sam Alton has claimed that OpenAI already knows how to build AGI. How to build AGI. He says that we already know, and by 2027 or early 2028, we will be able to produce the AGI as well. Okay. So AGI will be obviously having a capabilities very similar to human, which can do the intellectual task, which has a social emotional engagement, which will be having a creativity, which will be having a skills of solving the problem. And the most important thing, guys, which the AGI system will require is called as a motor skills. Do you know, guys, what is the meaning of motor skills, guys? Any one of you? Do you know what is the meaning of motor skills? Tell me. Guys, what is a motor skills? Have you heard about this term? Motor skills. Any one of you? Tell me, tell me. Yes or no? Are you aware about this? Not aware. So, guys, motor skills is basically a kind of capabilities where, as a human, you are doing two tasks. For example, simultaneously, you can you know you can write, and you can also think about something, some other topic, correct? So simultaneously you are doing a two task. For example, you are building this particular toy using your hands, using your eyes, so they are coordinating with each other, and which will be helping you to do that task, correct? So that is called as a motor skill, fine motor skill. So when this AGI will be built, so that AGI will also having a capability of motor skills. So for example, it can their hands and their eyes can coordinate simultaneously, and they can perform certain tasks. Okay. So then that system will be called as an AGI. As of now, as I told you, this is very hypothetical. It doesn't exist because it requires a human level capabilities, universal application. So this particular system will obviously not trained for everything. For example, there is one AI system which I am using for the purpose of doing my office work. And now I am asking the AI system, can you please make some food for me? Now, although that particular AI was not trained to do that task, but still he can do that task. So then you will call that particular system as an AGI, because it has a universe, like it can do a certain task for which it was not even trained, no data was there in the system, but still it can do that task because that is like a universal application, correct? So that is a AGI. ASI, again, I'll tell you that this is pretty much hypothetical as of now. There is only the concept of ASI. ASI doesn't exist, artificial super intelligence. And this system will basically surpass the brightest human mind. It can perform a task better than a scientist or a PhD holder. It will be beyond the human limits. Okay. It will be having everything: emotional intelligence, subjective experience, behavior intelligence, consciousness, belief, desire, everything. Okay. As of now, again, this is hypothetical, doesn't exist. As of now, whatever system that we are using, guys, all those systems are example of any artificial narrow intelligence, which can perform a domain specific task, okay, for which you have trained them. It doesn't have any consciousness. It is purely dependent on the data. Whatever data that you are feeding to them, whatever data that you are feeding to them, it will work based on the data. Okay. So this is about ANI, AGI, and ASI. Is this clear, guys? AGI, ANI, or ASI is clear to everyone? Tell me. A quick confirmation, please. Yeah. Perfect, guys. Now, next terminology is called as a Gen AI. Gen AI. Okay. I hope, guys, all of you are using now Gen AI. Gen AI, yes or no? Are you using the Gen AI? Correct. What is the Gen AI, guys? What it does? Can you tell me? What Gen AI does? Tell me what it does.
Sachin is predicts the next word when you're typing on the prompt. It predicts the next word.
One, okay, it can predict the next words. What else?
Also, it can generate images and generate text basically.
Perfect. It can generate the images. It can generate the text. Correct. It can generate the audio. It can generate the video. Correct. Now,
Basically,
guys,
on whatever data it is learned, it can accordingly it can generate things.
perfect. Based on the data which you have fed it to the system, it can generate the new content, or sometime it can generate the copyrighted content as well, because uh, on which data it is trained, we are not aware. Correct.
Yeah, sometimes it hallucinates as well, right?
Yeah,
And
perfect. It hallucinate as well. Okay. Now, guys, do you know how Gen AI system works? Okay. How that works basically. So Gen AI system works based on GAN. What is a GAN? It is called as a generative generative adversarial network. What is the meaning of GAN? Generative adversarial network. Now, what is a generative adversarial network? So, in a generative adversarial network, guys, there are two model. Okay, there are two model. One is a generator, and one is a discriminator. One is a generator and one is a discriminator. For example, guys, Pramod. Pramod is basically artist. Who is Pramod, guys? Pramod is artist. For example, if you ask the Pramod that, Pramod, can you please draw uh, Taj Mahal? Then Pramod can go there and he'll just spend the 1 hour and he can draw exactly the same Taj Mahal, because he is what? He is artist. He is art generator. Okay. Okay. Now, second person, for example, Rajendra. Rajendra is discriminator. For example, when Pramod is generating that image, Rajendra will always say, "Arey no, Pramod, this is not correct. This is how Taj Mahal will look like. You have painted Taj Mahal like this. The color is not right. The size is not right. This is not right. This is not right." So he's a discriminator. So in a generative adversarial network, what happens is these are the two model which are competing with each other. So generator will build something, discriminator will try to identify the mistake. Then again he'll correct, again he'll try to identify the mistake. So they'll do the task till the time discriminator will say that, boss, okay, now it is fine. Now whatever you have generated, it is looking like a Taj Mahal. Then that output will go to the user. Then that output will go to the user. So this is how the Gen AI, generative AI, will be able to build the text, will be able to build the images, videos. How? Based on generator and discriminator. So these two model will run in parallel, and then it they are competing with each other, and then they are trying to give you the best outcome. That is how it works. Are you getting my point, guys? How the generative adversarial network will work? Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Quick confirmation, please. Now, guys, can you tell me, suppose if there is husband and wife, who is generator and who is discriminator? Tell me. Who is generator? Who is discriminator in husband and wife?
Husband is generator and wife is discriminator.
Okay, we all have a same opinion. I thought there will be some difference. Okay, so we all have a same opinion, guys. Correct. So that is how the Gen AI works, guys. Correct. In a Gen AI, obviously you need to train it with large volume of data set. Okay, we need to train it with the large volume of data sets. Okay, there has to be a pattern learning. Okay, and then basically whatever AI system that we are using, it uses a probabilistical model to give you the output. And that also I'll discuss that how it is providing you the output based on the tokens and all that also we'll discuss in the upcoming slide. Now, what are the primary concern in the generative AI? First is called as a hallucination. Okay, hallucination. Now, what is the meaning of hallucination? Now, for example, guys, let me just explain you again with the example. So let me speak with Rohit. Rohit, are you there? Are you there? How are you?
I'm doing good, Sachin. How are you doing today?
All good, all good. How was the weather?
Weather is fine. It's a bit gloomy today.
Okay. And how was your day?
Day was fantastic.
Okay. How many states in Uganda?
I'm sorry, I don't know that answer.
Okay. So, for example, since Rohit is human, Rohit said, Sachin, I don't know. But suppose if I am interacting with the chat GPT, suppose the earlier version of chat GPT may say that Uganda has this much of states and all. Now, when we were interacting, guys, there was a proper, there was a proper way of interacting. First, I said, hi, Rohit, how are you? How was the weather? How are you doing today? Correct. And then suddenly I've asked the Rohit how many states in the Uganda. Now suppose if you are interacting with sometime the Gen AI may produce the output that in Uganda there are 10 states, but maybe in actual those 10 this number of states were never presented in a Uganda. Why? In this case, what the AI model has done, AI model has hallucinated. For example, if you ask something to the AI model on which he was never trained, and suppose if that data is not there in his database, then he'll try to give you an answer based on some probability method or based on some unverified fact, and that answer will be a hallucinated answer. Okay, it will be, then you will say that now the AI system has hallucinated. Similarly, guys, when you are using those Gen AI systems, sometimes they hallucinate as well. Okay, they'll present you some data very confidentially. You will rely on that data and then you will use that data. There are a lot of case studies, guys. You obviously have heard about the case studies, like a Deloitte company have used a Gen AI to develop an audit report, and then that audit report was rejected by the government of Australia, and they have also levy certain penalties. Correct, guys? So what I am trying to tell you is, guys, that hallucination means what? Sometime when you are interacting with those AI system, they may produce the output which has nothing to do with the reality. And why AI system will hallucinate? Because AI system, as we discuss, these are narrow. Correct, guys? They have a boundary, they have a limitations. They can only tell you from the data on which they have trained. If you ask beyond that, then they may hallucinate. They may give you the wrong answer. Okay, so this is about the hallucination, guys. Now Gen AI, yeah, somebody has raised a hand. Please tell me. Please tell me.
Actually, earlier we discussed there are two parts, that is discriminative and the one module which is creating. If if these two modules are kind of countering each other to produce the best thing, how this hallucination happens?
Again, similarly, for example, now generator and discriminator will also taking a decision based on their limitations. For example,
Okay.
if I am asking Rohit how many states in Uganda, Rohit saying 30. I also don't know how many. So I will believe Rohit, okay, fine.
Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
Because we both are at the same page. Correct.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
then discriminator will say, okay, fine. Then you will produce that output to the user. Correct. So
Hmm.
so this is a concern with the Gen AI system, guys. Okay. Now, second concern is intellectual property right infringement. I think Rajendra have raised the hand. Please, Rajendra, tell me.
So Sachin, as we discussed, the generator and discriminator are basically used to train the model. That's what we learned.
No,
But
generator and discriminator are used even to produce an output. For example, when you'll go to
okay.
the chat GPT and when you will
Mm-hmm.
ask something, this both model will basically first do
Oh,
computation and then you'll get the
so
output.
understood. It happens in the
It
real
is
time as
not
well.
only for the training, it is used every time when we are giving the prompt.
Got it, Sachin. Thank you.
Hmm. Now, guys, the second problem with the AI system is what? The second problem with like the biggest risk I'll say with the Gen AI system is what? Intellectual property infringement. I can give you very classical example, guys. Do you know that OpenAI has already so many lawsuit files against them in US? Do you know, guys? Why? Why there are so many open cases and so many lawsuit filed against OpenAI? Okay, I'll tell you guys. See, this open AI system, open AI, I think someone, Rohit, do you know why there are so many law suits against this company with respect to
Yeah,
IP
because
infringement?
yeah, because the models they use to train their Gen AI model, they kind of don't differentiate between what is already IP secured and
Mm-hmm.
basically what is like open source that is publicly available. So they tend to reproduce data which is already IP restricted in a manner.
Perfect. And do you know
So
what
that's
is
why.
the root cause of this particular problem? Because all this big model use what? They use a web scraping. What they do? They use a web scraping to train the data, guys. To train the data. Web scraping means what? Where thousands of websites are scrapped by AI model to get the data. Now, suppose, guys, suppose I am giving you a hypothetical example. Suppose I have written a book and that book is copyrighted, protected. Now, what will happen? This book will be available only if like you can only read the book. You can't reproduce the text which are used in that particular book. Correct. Now, guys, there may be certain website where this book is particularly sold illegally. Correct, guys. There may be certain website where this copyrighted material may be sold illegally. Now, when that AI model were doing a web scraping, okay, at that time, the model has also taken this website as an input. That is why that copyright material was introduced in the AI system. See, OpenAI have not done it deliberately, what I'm trying to tell you. They have not trained their model deliberately on the copyright or protected material. But when they were doing a web scraping at that time, there may be a lot of websites on which some content is available uh, unethically, guys. Correct. And then that was taken as a basis, and when some users were asking for the output, the open AI were producing the same output. Correct. And then obviously those company will file a case against the OpenAI that how come you can use my book to train your model? You don't have a right. You don't have a this. Correct. So this will result into what? This will result into IP infringement. Yes or no, guys? Correct. Are you getting my point, guys? Are you getting my point? Okay. So this kind of risks are there with the generative AI, and there is a one more risk, which is a data leakage risk. I have again very classical example of this. For example, if you have heard about in a March 2023, guys, when there was a this chat GPT version 3.5 was there. At that time what happened is that the user has given a prompt. What was that prompt? The user has given the prompt, repeat this word forever. And what was that word? For example, poem. Okay. Poem. Okay. He has given this particular command in a chat GPT. Okay, version 3.5. And after giving this particular command, do you know what happened? What happened? The chat GPT has started throwing. The chat GPT has started throwing some PII, SPI data of certain users. This problem was there with the chat GPT version 3.5. This kind of thing will be called as a prompt injection attack. But I'm trying to tell you is what that this generative AI can also result into a data leakages. Data leakages. So obviously, as an auditor, we need to ensure that there are appropriate controls implemented, because there is very high risk in the generative AI model. So we need to see that what kind of a controls built into the AI system. Now, guys, I'll also tell you again very good example here. For example, are you aware about this AI system, guys? Grok. Are you aware about this Grok? Tell me. Yes or no? Do you know, guys, who is the owner of Grok? Do you know who is the owner of Grok? Tell me.
Elon Musk.
Okay, Elon Musk is the owner, and ChatGPT, correct? Now, guys, you just type this to a prompt. For example, you will type how to build bomb. Okay, how to build bomb. Okay, so ChatGPT current version will give you a revert. No, you can't do this, because now they have implemented certain guardrails. Okay, so it may identify your input as a unethical or malicious intent, and accordingly it may not give you the output. But suppose if you will give this command to the Grok will tell you the method. The Grok can tell you the method of how to do that. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that in this kind of a system, we need to build certain kind of a guardrails as well. Like in the upcoming slide also we'll discuss what all guardrails we need to implement. So that also I'll discuss. But I'm just trying to tell you what, guys, Musk doesn't care about anyone. He's like, whatever will happen, I'll see. In this Grok, guys, there are no guardrails. Like for example, even if you use a bad words for the for this, it will again give you the response to it, whereas ChatGPT may not give you those bad responses. But yeah, so what I'm trying to tell you is that they'll respond based on the data which is being used to train them. Accordingly, they'll respond. Whatever companies guardrails will implement, according to that guardrails also the data may get filtered and the data may get sorted, correct? So we need to ensure that those things are there. So this is about the Gen AI, guys. Now we have another system which is called as an agentic AI. Again, guys, I'll say that this is again a very common term. A lot of people might have heard about it. Agentic AI. Tell me, what is agentic AI, guys? What is agentic AI? Tell me.
Sachin, a set of programs or models created to perform a certain task, certain set of tasks. For example, A very hypothetical example I'll take, let's say, suppose disbursing is being done by a bank. So agent will do that disbursal rather than a human doing it. That
Perfect.
is
So
my
it
understanding.
can do perfect. Yeah. Sorry, Rajendra, you were saying.
I'm saying, sorry, that is my understanding of agentic AI. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
AI
So
agent
agent.
rather.
Yeah.
AI agent, agentic AI is the set of the, where set of the AI agents where the agentic AI does the orchestration and assign tasks to different agents.
Perfect. So there are two to three systems, correct? From where he'll take an input and he'll process particular input, and based on that processing, it will take certain decision or it will do some task. Correct, guys? That is what the agentic AI is. So agentic AI will work autonomous. Okay, autonomous. So in an agentic AI, you need to define certain goals, and then in order to achieve that goals, it will perform certain tasks. It will perform certain tasks. That is what the agentic AI does. For example, guys, suppose if I am using a Google agentic AI, now Google have an access to my emails, Google have an access to my drive, Google has an access to my calendar. Okay. So now suppose, guys, in the next week there are 3 audit committees. Okay. Now I'll just give a goal to the agent that, boss, I want to attend uh, all the three audit committee. Can you please tell me what is my available time slot? Okay. Can you tell me what is my available time slot based on the emails which are there in my mailbox? Okay. Based on the calendar, based on a drive, whatever is available. Okay. And if those time slots are not clashing with the other meeting and all, you please send a meeting invite. You need to send to all the 3 companies where our audit committee meetings are there. Okay. You also need to find the respective members, okay, to whom the invite needs to be sent. So I have just given him this particular goal. What was my goal? That I need to attend all the 3 audit committee meeting. Now you please send the meeting invite. Now based on availability, he'll do, correct? But what agentic AI is doing, guys, agentic AI has an ability to do some kind of an innovation. Okay. It will be doing that task autonomously without manual intervention. Okay. It will execute the task obviously through the API calls and the file edits. Okay. So the objective of using the agentic AI to do the automation, okay, which can handle the multiple step processes, like it can do the research as well. After the research, it can do the report generation as well. Okay. So that is the use of AI, agentic AI, I'll say. Now, guys, in case of an agentic AI, there is a strong need of HITL. So for example, there are 3 concepts: human in the loop, human out the loop, okay, or human off the loop. Okay, human in the loop, off the loop, or out the loop. In case of agentic AI, there has to be a human in the loop. So obviously there has to be some kind of an oversight which is required before those high impact actions executed. For example, I can define that certain kind of an task you can do it your own, but suppose if it is riskier decision. For example, if I'll ask the AI, agentic AI to send the final audit report, then obviously this is very riskier task, guys, correct? Now, while generating a report, he may hallucinate. So I can't give those kind of a task to the agentic AI. I'll require a strong human in the loop for this kind of a decisions before it executed. Okay. And in agentic AI, there is a need of a clear kill switch and a guardrails, because sometime if any task is done autonomously, then it can sometimes harm the human being or harm some other processes. It may do certain tasks which are not being intended to perform. Okay, which are not intended to perform. So there has to be an option to kill switch. You know how you can stop that particular agentic AI as a single click of button, at a single click of button. Okay, and so this also you will be checking that whether it is there or not. Okay, guys, this is clear. Everyone, agentic AI clear. And use of agentic AI can be done in the customer services. Correct, guys? Like what I've seen as of now, the most of the use of an agentic AI is in the customer services. So what companies are doing is companies are training this kind of a model based on their past complaints, how users are raising, what is the tone of user, what is the words of a user, and then based on that training they'll also provide their internal SOPs, policies, their complaint resolutions, remarks, and based on that it will tell to the agentic AI whenever someone is raising a request, raising a complaint, the first response has to go from an agentic AI. If customer is satisfied with it, then the ticket will get closed then and there. Suppose if some of the tickets are not being closed with the response of agentic AI, then those will be routed to the respective customer care executives. Correct? Yeah, Rajendra, please tell me.
Sir, I think very apt example you have given. In fact, we are grappling with the situation in our organization. They say that they have removed some many thousand numbers of call center agents by using use of the AI, and we are struggling both the IS audit as well as the business function audit. We have been tasked to audit it since last 3-4 months, but we don't know how to audit it. Probably this course will help us, enable us and make us capable to audit those areas.
Why are you
We are
taking so
really-
much of stress? Appoint the consultant. Na. I'll be there. Appoint
so-
as a consultant to us. We'll help you how to
yeah,
audit.
that is anyways, as 3I says, the high risk AIs has to be done by the consultant. But
Yeah.
first, we want to understand that. I mean, you must
Just
understand
joking. You
Yeah.
are absolutely right. You are absolutely right, Rajendra. Just joking. This particular course, okay, this entire course of a double AIA has been designed in a such a way which will help you to audit the AI. Okay. Because see again, whatever discussion that I will be doing in this, I'll be doing that discussion more from an auditor's perspective. See, although I'll also try to explain you everything with the help of example. And see, when we'll understand those with the help of example, we can automatically apply our auditor's mind. Correct, guys? Because we are already an auditor from last 15 to 20 years. It is just that we need to understand AI, how it is functioning, what can go wrong, what are the risks, what are the guardrails which can be there. Then obviously we can use our auditor knowledge and accordingly can perform the audit. So this AAIA will definitely help you to achieve your goal. Okay. Okay, perfect, guys. This clear. Now next is predictive model. Predictive model. Okay. The example of predictive model is what, guys? This is something which is giving the prediction based on what? Based on the past historical data. Based on the past historical data. Okay. So this kind of a model used to forecast the event or a trend. For example, I have given a model, boss, this is my 3-year, 10-year sales. Now you predict the sales for next 1 year. Okay. Now you forecast the weather based on the past 2 years of data. So predictive models are specifically used to predict some task. Okay. Now, in this kind of a model, what are the governance concern which could be there? Governance concern which could be there. So the most area of concern in the predictive model is what? Lack of transparency Suppose if there is no explainability in the predictive model. For example, I've given the data and then model is giving me the output. Now suppose if I ask why, then that why is missing. Why is missing means what? That model doesn't have an explainability. Model is working in the black box. He is not able to explain why this, based on this input, why this output. So there is a lack of transparency, lack of explainability, which can be a greatest concern for the predictive models. So we need to build the model in such a manner, that they can provide us a explanation. They can provide us a explanation. Okay. So as an auditor, guys, when you'll be reviewing this model, you can ask the company, do you have a explainability, transparency, it is there or not. Okay, so these are the things which you need to review with respect to this models. Okay, guys. So all these terminologies, all these different types of AI based on the capabilities is clear, guys. Any AGI, ESI, agentic AI, Gen AI, predictive model. Any query, any doubt? Perfect. This clear. Now, guys, I'll be discussing about the machine learning. Machine learning. As we discussed, guys, what is the meaning of a machine learning, guys? Machine learning is a subset of an AI. Subset of an AI, guys, correct? What it does, it employs the models and algorithms. Correct? In a machine learning, what happens is you will deploy certain models and the algorithm, which will enable machine to learn from the data without explicit programming. Correct, guys? So this is my AI system. In my AI system, there is certain data. Correct? There is certain data which is there. Now, what machine learning will do? Machine learning will basically deploy a models or an algorithm in such a manner that using this data, okay, which is provided during the training, which is provided as a part of prompt, using that data, the AI system will learn itself. It will learn itself. Okay, so that is called as a machine learning. It is a subset of AI which relies on a statistical technique to identify pattern rather than following a static rule. Machine learnings are not explicitly programmed for every task. No. Correct? Those are not programmed explicitly for doing everything. Okay, rather than it will learn and adapt based on the data, based on the patterns, and it will continuously improve the output. Okay, now I'll give you very basic simple example, guys. Suppose if you all are using a chat GPT, in a chat GPT, if you write a command, what is double AIA, will you all get the same output, guys? Tell me. Your prompt is same. Suppose you can try, guys, correct? You can try also. You can just write that prompt in your chat GPT and you can paste your output in a chat. Let's see your output is same or not. Obviously, you'll not get the same output. Can you tell me why? See, the chat GPT application is same for all, but why are you getting the different outputs? Tell me, guys. Do you want to try this, guys? You want to try? Suppose if I'll go to a chat GPT, if I'll ask the chat GPT what is double AIA, okay, I may get this output. Can you just check and confirm whether you are also getting the same output then? Are you getting exactly the same output, whatever I am getting? Tell me. You can just see my screen and you can compare. Are you getting this same output? Tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Different, Sachin. For me, it is automatic aftermarket industry. For you, it is automotive industry.
So, guys, see, we all have used the same prompt, but We all are getting the different outcome. Why? Because in my chat GPT, there is a machine learning which is basically continuously learning based on its knowledge base, and also whatever input that I am feeding. Accordingly, it is giving me the output. In case of Rajendra, whatever prompt he has given in the past, accordingly, his model is basically giving his output. Your model will give you different outcome. Right? That is what the machine learning is. That is why we are calling it as a machine learning, guys. Right? That is why we are calling it as a machine learning, which is continuously improving their output based on the knowledge base and based on the input or prompt which you are giving. Correct? Now, guys, in a machine learning, there are different techniques. Okay, there are different techniques in the machine learning. First is called as a supervised learning. First is called as a supervised learning. Do you know, guys, what is a supervised learning? Do you know what is a supervised learning, guys? Anyone? Any one of you guys? Supervised learning. Have you heard about the term? No. Supervised learning. No. Okay. I'll explain you. Okay. So I'll explain you this with the help of very basic example. Can you tell me, guys, how children will learn? For example, if you have a child of 0 to 1 year, okay, or suppose 0 to 3 year, that child will ask you a series of questions, correct? That what is this? Correct. What is the name of this? Correct. Uh, 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 where are we going? What is this? This is train. How train will move? Correct, guys. So it is asking us a series of questions, and then we are answering to those questions. And based on our answer, what it does, that child will learn. Correct, guys. That child will learn whatever you are answering to them. And then next time, whenever you ask the same question to child will revert you that this is a apple, this is a cat, this is a dog, this is a umbrella. Correct. Now, how child is answering to us whatever we have taught them. Correct. Now, this kind of a learning is an example of a supervised learning. In a supervised learning, what happened, guys? We need to label the data. We need to label the data. There is a process of data labeling. Guys, this is very expensive thing. Do you know there are certain multi-dollar billionaire company who are just doing data labeling? Guys, do you know certain companies who are just doing data labeling? For example, there is company called as a Task Monk AI. Do you know what this company will do is, for example, you want to build or run a model, then obviously, guys, you will need a trained data to test the model, to deploy the model. Correct. So there are companies who do the task of data labeling. In a data labeling, what will happen, guys? For example, you will say that I want to build a diagnostic machine for a heart attack. So they will be basically using the thousands of images, thousands of a different scenario. They'll tag that scenarios, and then it will tell you that, okay, this is the labeled data. Now you test the data, whatever model that you have built, whether that model is running on that data or not. So there is a companies, guys, who are doing the work of labeling. How they do the labeling? Labeling will work like a flashcard. Flashcard. Can you tell me, guys, in this image, whatever you are seeing is what? Can you tell me what is this? Can you tell me what is this, guys, in this image? What is visible? This is car, correct? So, guys, now I label this image as a car. Car. This is truck. So I'll click on this and I'll say this is a truck. I'll write that. This is how you need to do the labeling. This is very expensive task, guys. Labeling is very expensive task. Suppose if you want to train your model on a supervised labeled data, then there are this kind of a company which will be doing a labeling for you. You provide them the dump and they label it one by one. They label it one by one. If you get a chance, guys, if you get a chance, okay, just watch this movie. It is called as a Human in the Loop. This is available on Netflix. Okay, just watch this movie, guys. Uh, Initially, this is little bit boring, but after watching this 1 hour movie, I am 100% sure you will be able to know the concept of labeling, that what is the labeling, how that works. Even in a small villages, how they have set up companies, and how the villagers are doing the task of the labeling. Okay. So just watch this movie whenever you get a time. IMDb rating is also good. Okay. So this is a meaning of a supervised learning, guys. What is a supervised learning? In this kind of a learning, you need to label the data. So whatever input is there, you will put a label on it, and based on that label, it will give you prediction. For example, I have 100 cat, I have 100 dogs images. So I have labeled those one by one, one by one, one by one. 100 labels were there to identify the different types of cats. Then 100 labels images for a dog. Now after labeling it, I am giving him the new image and asking the model whether that is a cat or whether that is a dog. Whether that is a cat or whether that is a dog. So now this particular model will do prediction based on what? Based on the labeled data. Whatever I have labeled, based on that, it will give me the output. Correct? Correct, guys? So this is called as a supervised learning, where learning will happen through the labeling. Through the labeling. Okay? In this, the algorithm corrects itself by comparing the output with the actual labels, and you are mapping the function. So as I told you guys, that in the labeling there will be it will work based on the model card. So you must have seen the model card, that at the first page there is a question and on the back end side there is an answer. So similarly, image will be there. Then you will tell that what is that image. Okay. Now in a supervised learning, guys, supervised learning, there are two types of algorithm. One is a regression algorithm and one is a classification algorithm. Regression algorithm will predict something. Okay. It will do the prediction, and predictions will be there in a quantitative data. Okay. Quantitative data. For example, guys, if I have this house, I have labeled the data of this particular house, that this is the house, this is the location of the house, this is the square feet of the house, this is the area, and this is the price of per square feet in this area. Then this is the second house, this is the location, this is the square feet, this is the area, and this is the price of this. So now I have labeled this particular data here. This is a regression labeling, because I am doing this on a quantitative data. Quantitative data. So I have labeled all the data, and after labeling, now I am asking that, okay, in this area, this is the house. Can you predict what would be the value of this house? So this is the example of regression supervised learning. Regression supervised learning, which will do the predictions for the quantitative data. Similarly, you can also do the qualitative analysis. You can also use a supervised learning to classify and categorize the given data set. For example, you want to identify whether that email is a spam or not. So you have already trained your model on the different thousands spam email. And now based on that training, it will identify whether that is a spam or not. Okay, whether that is a spam or not. But so this is how the supervised learning will work, guys. Now in a supervised learning, do you know what is the disadvantage? As I told you, that this is solely rely on what? Human involvement. This will require a heavy human involvement to do the labeling task. Now, suppose if human has done wrong labeling, then your output will again not correct. Okay. So this is, I'll say, the disadvantage of supervised learning, or I'll say that risk of supervised learning. Okay, it requires a human involvement to operate it successfully. You need to see that what data used to train the model, what was the quality of that data, biasness was there or not. Correct. So that is a supervised learning. Okay. Next is unsupervised. Before unsupervised, guys, there is also one more type of learning which is called as a semi-supervised. So we'll discuss about this once we know the unsupervised. Now, in unsupervised learning, what will happen, guys? This will basically discover hidden structure, and here the data will be unlabeled. You have not done any kind of a labeling to the data. Okay. Unsupervised learning will learn from the unlabeled data without explicit guidance or human intervention. Okay. For example, guys, you have this particular data of a customer. There are 1,000 customers. Okay. Out of the 1,000 customer, you need to create a categories who are the budgeted shopper, who are the premium buyer, who are the seasonal customer. Then you may use a unsupervised learning. In this, algorithm will operate without the label. So they will detect and correlate the common things between the data, who has a shared characteristics or certain absence characteristics. Accordingly, it will group the data. Accordingly, it will create the cluster of the data. So that is called as a unsupervised learning. In an unsupervised learning, algorithm will operate without the label. And how it will operate without the label? It will try to identify what? The similarities, shared characteristics, certain characteristics which are not there. Correct? So try to identify the similarities, similar data points, and accordingly it will work. So this is called as a unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, we have a different techniques, guys. First is called as a clustering. Clustering means what? Grouping the similar data points together. Grouping the similar data together is a clustering. Okay. Second is a association rule. Association rule will try to establish the relationship between two data sets. That if it is X, then it is Y. For example, if someone is coming to buy a bread, there are high chance that person may also buy butter. Okay, bread, butter, or maybe milk. So association rule is a technique which will try to discover how the items within the large data sets are associated with each other. So example of an association rule can be the a priori algorithms also, because a priori algorithms also works on the same concept. Okay, what is if X then Y, this kind of rule, correct? This is association rule. And third is called as a dimensity reduction. So this try to focus on simplifying the data by reducing the variables. Okay, for example, guys, clustering, you all know you have 1,000 customer, you want to group that customers into 3 categories. So this clustering will help you. Then association rule, if X then Y, someone is buying a bread, high chance that person will also buy the butter. Okay, so this will help you to find the relationship, market basket analysis, correct? And third is a dimensity reduction, which will help you to reduce the dimension while retaining the essential feature. For example, guys, suppose in your mobile app there is a facial recognition app. Now, facial recognition app is using a 50 parameter to recognize your face. If 50 parameters will there, obviously the model will be more complex to process, to take a decision. So rather than 50, will try to reduce the dimension, that okay, you consider only 10 points. You only consider the 10 points, and then based on that you recognize the face. So this is a process that transforms high dimension data into the lower dimension data with the objective to simplifying the data while retaining the essential feature. Okay. So this is how the unsupervised learning will work. Okay. Unsupervised learning will work. Now, in unsupervised learning, guys, the most important risk or most relevant risk is what? Lack of explainability. This kind of a learning model. So, guys, if you ask me what is an advantage of supervised learning will have a more explainability. Suppose if you have a labeled data and if there is any outcome, and if you ask the reason of outcome, they will be able to explain you that outcome. They will be able to explain you that outcome. Why? Because there is a labeling of the data based on which it is taking a decision. But in unsupervised learning, the risk is what? It has a lack of explainability. It has a lack of explainability. Okay. It will require a human interpretation also. Okay. You need to also verify the output, whether it is correct or not. Okay. So human in the loop is very important to ensure the accuracy and the reliability. So that is called as a unsupervised learning. Clear, guys? Supervised versus unsupervised is clear to everyone. Supervised versus unsupervised is clear to everyone. Yeah? Now, guys, next is called as a reinforcement learning. Next is what? Reinforcement learning. The example of reinforcement learning is very simple, guys. Suppose if you have a pet in your house, if you have a suppose dog in your house, okay, so you are trying to train your dog how to say hi. Okay, so you have trained the dog that this is how you need to say the hi. Okay, so now after training you are asking the same 10 times to the dog, say hi. If dog will say hi, you will give cookies to the dog. Okay, if dog doesn't say hi, then you will penalize that. Okay, or you will not give a reward to him. So this is what? This is an example of reinforcement learning. Okay, reinforcement learning. In this kind of a learning method, what will happen, guys? You will be giving the reward whenever the model will give you the correct output, or whenever it do the correct task. And if it does it wrong, then you will penalize it. Okay. So this is how the reinforcement learning, which focuses on decision making and control. Okay, where you will try to achieve a goal through the reward and penalty concept. You will try to achieve the goal through the reward and penalty concept. Okay, that is how it works. For example, guys, for example, here I have asked the something to the chat GPT. The chat GPT has given me the output. See, then after that, I have this option. Correct? Good response, bad response. And I can also go to the more action, and I can also tell, suppose if I have any other concern with the output which is being provided by the chat GPT. Now, guys, suppose if chat GPT is using my, see, this is my feedback. I cannot say that this is a reinforcement learning because I am giving my feedback. But what I'm telling you is, suppose if that feedback is again used to correct the model, then this will be an example of what? This will be the example of reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning, where it will, I have penalized it because it has not given me the correct output. It has given me the negative output, wrong output. Correct. This is what the reinforcement learning is, where there will be a concept of the reward and the penalty, and based on this, the model will try to improve itself. Okay, and it will try to produce the output with an object, with an intended person's this. So that is the reinforcement learning. Okay, guys. Are you getting my point? What is reinforcement learning? Everyone is clear? Perfect. So this is all about the reinforcement learning. Any query, any doubt till now, guys? Anything that you want to discuss, tell me. This is clear, guys. Now, guys, based on this discussion, can we do some Q&A? Can we do some Q&A? Tell me yes or no. Do you want to do some Q&A, guys, based on this discussion? Waiting for your answers. Okay, let's do some Q&A, guys. So I'll quickly share my screen. And before that, just wanted to ask, guys, any one of you have attempted the AAIA exam? Any one of you have attempted the AAIA exam in the class? Have you attempted the AAIA exam? I'll also tell you a little bit about the exam also. Let's quickly do some Q&A on this. So let me share only the PPT. You're planning to schedule, great. I'll quickly share the screen. Okay, and we'll do something. Sorry. Let me reshare. Perfect, guys. So just tell me, read the question again very carefully, and then give me your answer. Okay. Read the question carefully. Give me your answer inside. Very good. What about others? Waiting for a few more answers. Great. Can you tell me, Shalini, why B? Why not other? What was your basis or a rationale to select B as an answer?
Yeah, Sachin. I mean, I was actually hanging around B and D because it has to do something with data breach or privacy breach. But that I just thought the exercise of clustering would probably require more data to be invaded. So B meant, I mean, that's how I thought.
Okay, perfect. 1B seems right. Okay. What about you, Vivek? Why B? Why not B? Vivek, not audible if you're speaking. Maybe you're not able to unmute. Rohit, can you quickly tell me, boss, why B? Why not B?
Sachin, my thought was basically because clustering is part of unsupervised learning. So, like,
Mhm.
if the data set provided to the model is not sanitized in that manner, any information can be like fed in, which can or like the cluster that is being made, it can kind of like reveal those kind of data sets.
And what about option B? The clustering require more data, increasing the
Yeah, I
risk.
was kind of like torn into both of them, so that's why I kind of suggested
I
B.
I felt on option number D, I'm banking on the words which is depending on how the information is presented.
Yeah,
That was my
similarly.
first thought. And in B, of course, it is increasing the risk of privacy.
The clustering require more data and increasing the risk of breach. Correct. And option D is saying cluster can reveal sensitive personal information depending on how information is presented. Correct. So as rightly mentioned by you guys, correct, clustering means what? Clustering means what, as we discussed, guys? What is the meaning of clustering? Tell me. Guys,
Dividing
what is the,
data into different
yeah.
zones.
Uh,
Sorry?
grouping the similar set of data at one place.
Correct.
Similar
Grouping
data
the similar set of data in the different types, correct? Like we have seen one example of a customer. Now, when you are using a clustering to group the patient information, based on their past medical history, so that you can personalize the treatment recommendation, based on which you can personalize the treatment recommendation. So what is the greatest privacy risk? Correct, guys? Privacy risk. Okay. Now here, if you will see, guys, increasing the risk of privacy breach and revealing the sensitive personal information.
It is revealing the sensitive personal information in case of medical.
Correct, guys? Are you getting my point? Correct. See, B and D options were very close. Correct. But why D was the correct answer? Because they have asked me a privacy risk associated with this practice. That if I am using this, then what risk means what? What can go wrong? What can go wrong? Correct. Which option is describing it well? Correct. So option D is the correct answer, guys, for this particular question. Okay.
If it is asked in exam, do we get half mark for B?
No, no. We don't know how the markings are even done in the any of the ISACA examination. Okay. We don't have much clarity basically. Okay. Next question on your screen, guys. The next question on your screen. Which of the following is the greatest risk associated with using AI? You are using the AI in the planning. You want to use the AI in planning. What is the greatest risk?
Sachin, does this mean that we as auditors are using some AI tool to do the audit, or is it a part of the client system? I mean, I don't quite follow the question.
Okay. So that also we have to figure out, Shalini. Which of the
Okay.
following is the greatest risk associated with using AI? Using AI in audit planning. What does it mean? You as an auditor are using the AI in the planning.
Maybe incomplete data.
Okay.
Okay.
What about? Okay, perfect. So I'm getting a lot of answers, guys. Vivek, tell me your final answer in a chat.
So D log कर दिया जाए.
Okay, great. What about others, guys?
Yeah, same D.
I can see A also. Majority I'll say is A. Guys, risk again. See again. I am again reiterating risk associated with using AI in audit planning. You tell me the risk associated with this specific use case. I am using AI in audit planning. AI works on what? Tell me how AI works.
On your data which you are going to provide in order to plan particular audit.
Perfect.
So if
What
that
would be the
data is
greatest?
incomplete,
Perfect. Yeah, continue, please.
yeah, if the data provided is incomplete, your whole planning is going for toss.
Perfect, guys. If the data is incomplete, then whatever that you would be doing on that data doesn't make much sense. Correct, guys? Correct, guys. So incomplete data would be the greatest risk. Now, easy one for you guys. Easy one. Tell me the answer. Tell me, which of the following do supervised AI learning?
I think it is C, labeled data
C
sets.
labeled.
C.
Okay. Okay. And why C, guys? Why C?
Because half an hour earlier you told.
Perfect, guys. That is how the supervised learning will work, guys. In a supervised learning, what we will be doing? We will be doing the labeling
Data
of the
labeling.
data. Correct? We'll be doing a labeling of the data based on which it will make the predictions. Based on which it will make the predictions. Correct? So that is about the supervised learning. Okay. So guys, in our today's class, what we have discussed briefly about the type of AI model based on the capabilities and based on the functionalities. Okay. And also discussed about the AI, ML, and deep learning, and also did certain queries. Okay. Uh, Now, guys, I'll tell you about something about the AAIA examination. You know, a lot of people who have attempted the examination. I got a lot of feedback from them. I am also there in the ISACA Engage community. I'll quickly show you that feedback. Okay. I'll just. Are you able to see my complete screen, guys? Yeah, my complete screen is this. Okay. So guys, most of the people, what they are telling and what they are saying that in an exam, there are a lot of questions on a topic which is not properly covered in the syllabus. Why they are saying, guys? Because see, this is obviously a very new subject. The things are evolving, and even the ISACA is, improving their Q&As day by day. There are certain topics which are not there in the review manual, and they are asking that pretty much in a detail. Pretty much in a detail. Okay. There are only the words, like there is a word like a K algorithm. There is a word like a precision. There is a word like a recall. Never explained in the book. And then they are expecting that people will answer the question based on the understanding. They should know what is the meaning of recall. They should know what is the meaning of precision. They should know how these are different from each other. So, guys, see, what I'm trying to tell you is that since this is a new topic, since this is a new domain, okay, whatever you are studying, whatever you are reading, you have to do bit uh, more study, or I'll say bit deeper study to understand those concepts, to understand those topics. Okay. And then you also need to understand that how I would be applying that knowledge in Q&A. While answering the Q&A, how should I apply those concepts which I have learned? Okay. So then only you will be able to clear, guys. Suppose if you're doing a plain reading of it, it doesn't make much sense if you just do the plain reading. Okay. This is good exam, guys. It will definitely gonna challenge your understanding for the AI models understanding, AI domains understanding, and also the auditing mindset. Also the auditing mindset as well. So if you are planning to prepare, my sincere advice is whatever you are reading, whatever you are studying, just do bit detailed reading or detailed learning. Okay. Okay. So this is about the AI examination experience, guys, which I want to share with you. And also just wanted to tell you about our AI training program. Okay. So see, in this training program, we will be doing our discussion the way we did in our today's class. Okay. Through our customized notes and the PPTs, correct, which I have presented to you. So similarly, there will be the PPTs and the notes for the all three domains. There will be a lot of Q&As which we will be sharing with you. Okay. A lot of Q&As which we'll be sharing with you. We'll also providing you certain mock test papers so that you can test your knowledge. You can see that whether you are able to get that understanding which is required for the examinations or not. Okay. And yeah, obviously the recordings will also be available. So this is about our AAIA program, guys. You can check out that the details of the training program on our website as well, guys. I'll quickly share you the link of the website. Okay. So this is about our today's webinar or today's class. I hope that this is clear to everyone. Any query, any doubt, you can ask. Yeah, Shalini, please tell me.
Sachin, I don't know if you already answered this. Sorry, if I have to make you repeat. But how long do you think is a preparation time for this, considering we're going through the training attended from your end plus some extra materials? And this is for a working person who probably might not be able to devote the entire day for this.
Obviously, you all are working professionals, correct? So for us, Monday to Friday, a bit difficult, but still we have to find out at least 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes in our Monday to Friday schedule. Like for example, if we are commuting, correct, whenever we get a time, we need to read. So if possible, Monday to Friday, you need to read at least 1 hour, and then Saturday, Sunday, or weekend, if you are spending 4 to 5 hours, then I'll say that 2 months, 2 to 3 months would be enough time to prepare and clear the exam, provided if you are doing this. Okay.
How about the job market, Sachin? Are there any demands for AAIA professionals?
So what happened is, out of India, I've seen couple of vacancies. Okay. And recently in India, I've come across HDFC Bank AI risk vacancy. Okay, out of India, obviously there are a lot of vacancies nowadays. And recently I've come across one vacancy in HDFC Bank that they are hiring the risk manager. Okay. And out of India, there are a lot of companies, a lot of big MNCs who are hiring for the people to evaluate their AI systems and evaluate the AI risk, where they have mandated the double AIA certification. I'm also getting a feedback from a lot of people in the MNCs that their higher management have asked them to do double AI. See, if you will be using the AI in your business, in your company, definitely you will require people who can understand the AI risk. Correct? Even the Rajendra has also mentioned the same thing, correct? That there is, like in our company, we are looking for someone who can understand the AI. So obviously, see, this is very new in the market, and this is the right time if you can take the early advantage of it. Correct. This is the right time to take the early advantage of.
Okay, okay. That means there are lack of professionals.
As of now, definitely yes.
Great, great.
I have one question to ask. Right now, I'm thinking of switching to this in the consulting part. Now, right now, I don't have this AAIA, and I'm planning to applying for these jobs. One option is I apply right now for say domain, for example, DD or systems audit or anything. The other part, I wait for a while, I get this certification, and then I apply. So, what do you think? Is there any point waiting now or waiting or directly apply right now?
You can start applying, Vivek. It is completely your this call. Okay. For example, if you'll try to apply now, and if you have some good understanding and basic level of understanding, then there are high chances that you will get selected, because, as I told you, there are limited people, correct, who have that kind of an understanding of an AI risk as of now. And when you compare it with the tech related profile, in tech related profile, there may be a more professional to compete. Correct. So I'll say as early as possible, you just do that and you can start applying for the relevant jobs. Okay.
Thank you. And
is this clear, Vivek? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shalini, tell me, you have raised a hand.
Oops, sorry, that was a mistake. I've been loading it.
Okay.
Sachin, what will be the timings of the class?
Timings are, I think this one is the morning batch. And
It's morning, I think, right? 7:30 to
10:30.
10:30, right? Okay, okay. Got it. Thank you. I've
I
already
just-
registered. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I
Great.
just want to ask one more thing. You have texted me on my WhatsApp earlier. Still, I'd want to ask this AIGP training you're providing. I guess in the last week of Jan or first week of Feb, supposedly to end on 20th of Feb. I was thinking you were telling me it will take some time, but I was thinking if I'm studying continuously and in the last class I learn, and maybe 1 week later, can I try to appear for it or should I wait for that?
You can appear, but in that last week, you have to do a thorough study of all the concepts once again, mock test paper, Q&A practice. If
I
you are
was-
able to complete this, then
I was thinking of going for both the exams simultaneously at the same time. I guess some overlapping is there, so I was thinking of taking advantage of that.
yeah, you are right. Even I also did the same. I prepared for one, and simultaneously I was preparing for other. I took a gap of 25 days and I appeared for both.
Yeah, that is what
So
I
you
was
can
thinking.
do that, but my point is what that gives a decent amount of time. Vivek.
Yeah, of course.
Both exams are very expensive, correct?
That is correct.
So just take that also into the consideration. Enough time as per your this, and then you can appear for both.
Even before giving exam, I'll just ask if I'm ready or not. Then only I'll give.
Yeah, definitely. Are there opportunities in the Middle East for the AI risk? I believe yes, everywhere. We see wherever industry will use the AI, they'll need a professional to evaluate the AI. It's as simple as that. In the Middle East, also the companies will be using the AI system now, correct? So if they will be using it, they need a AI risk professionals. Okay.
Sachin, one more question.
Please tell
Are
me.
you planning any other batch post Feb? Because I'll be traveling almost 25 days in Feb.
Yeah, definitely we'll plan, but not sure when we'll plan. So,
Okay.
definitely there will be batches in the future, but as of now, not decided that when it will be.
Okay.
Perfect, guys. Any other query, any other doubt? Before we wind up our session, any other query, any other doubt?
Sachin
Just
is.
one query. Shalin, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh,
Yes,
no problem.
yes.
Yeah, thank you. I just had a quick query on the reading materials. So, is there a prerequisite for us to also go through the ISACA materials before attending this, or have it
No such
alongside?
prerequisite. No such prerequisite. The best part of our training, whenever you take our training, whatever material that you need for the preparation, everything is provided by us. Okay. So we provide everything, whatever you require for the preparation. It is like a one-stop solution. Uh, okay. Anything else? Rohit, you were saying something, I think.
Yeah, Sachin, I just want to ask you, like, for the registration of the class, like, we just need to enroll in with the request, or like, how do we do that? Because I'm just getting an option to, like, put in my details.
So you just register. You send the query to the team. Team will connect you over a WhatsApp, share you the payment details and a registration form. And yeah, once it is done, you'll get registered to the training.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that.
Perfect, guys. Anything else? Okay, guys. So that is all from our side, guys. Thank you so much for your time. See you in some other class, some other webinar. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Yeah.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you so
night.